Hi, my name is Owen. Today, I just want to give you guys all a look ahead to what my reading plans are for the month of March and what I'm doing that I've never done before for reading. So, for those of you that don't know, I've mentioned a couple times on the channel, but last month I was in a reading slump. The month of February, I didn't really feel the urge, right? I've been kind of like, I don't know, not dreading reading, but I just never felt like I wanted to ever. And when I did read it, I got bored like super quickly, which means I need to take a break, right? I needed to step back and just relax a little bit and wait until I really wanted to read again, to really dig right back into it. But I'm feeling the urge. I want to read a bunch. And I got a lot of plans for the month of March. So let me just start with what I'm currently reading and what I plan on finishing definitely in the month of March, because it's a decent bit. First off, one book I'm reading on my Kindle is the Voidwalker collection by Derek Bailey. Derek is an indie author, and he sent me his collection of 8 short stories. So I'm currently working through that. I'm about a quarter of the way through. Derek, I know you sent me that like a month ago. I am reading it now, and I am enjoying it. So when I finish that, I'll definitely throw up a review here. I think I'm on the 3rd short story out of 8, but so far, I'm enjoying it. The other thing I'm reading on my Kindle is Trust of the Emerald Sea, the secret project that came out on January 1st, that I started reading January 2nd, but I still haven't finished it yet. Not that I think that it's bad, it just didn't grip me right away, so I've been like pushing it off. I've never really felt the urge to continue it. Hopefully, I don't dislike it, because Brandon Sanderson is one of my favorite authors, but I'm working through it, and I do plan on finishing it because it's a fairly easy read. It's a fairly light read. The other thing I am reading is obviously War and Peace. I've been releasing a short every single day because I'm reading a chapter every single day. I will not finish that in March because actually there's over 300 chapters in War and Peace, so I won't even finish that this year. Isn't that insane? What am I doing? That is insane. It's insane. I'm not even going to finish War and Peace this year, but I'm reading a chapter every day, so I'll continue to release those. So far, it's an interesting experience, and I can't wait till I eventually get to make that video of like how it changed reading this book for me, because it's already, even though I'm like 25 pages into the book, I have like a different experience reading this book than I have ever reading a book. So maybe I'll have to do like a check-in or something like pretty soon, because it is fascinating what that's doing to my brain. The other thing that I'll be reading and finishing next month is part 2 of the Divine Comedy. I did finish Inferno because I'm reading it for a class, and I was gonna do a review, but then I realized I'm just not smart enough to talk about Dante. I honestly not, like, I really enjoyed it, and I think that Dante is a genius, obviously, because he's still being read 700 years after he wrote it. I'm just not smart enough to discuss why I like it so much. It's a religious text, it's a philosophical text, and also it's just great poetry. It's outstanding. So I recommend it, even if like you think it's like too pretentious or like too dense. It is, but if you get the Hollander edition, like, he kind of explains every line, and even like idiots like me can figure it out. It's very good. I'm just not smart enough to make a review on it. But I'm sure there's thousands of YouTube videos on it, and also just there are millions of scholarly texts explaining it and going into depth why it's so great, stuff like that. You just won't be getting that from me. I will be reading this part 2, Purgatorio, for my class, so I will be finishing that in the month of March. And the other thing that I'm reading that I have never done before, that I'm very excited to be currently doing, is listening to an audiobook. I think I listened to one audiobook in my life, and it was like a Cosmere short story. I don't remember which one it was. It was the one with Lift, and she's like floating around. But I did that when I was like deathly ill. So I was like fading in and out of consciousness when I was doing it, so I don't really remember if I liked or enjoyed the experience. But I'm listening to The Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, a classic fantasy trilogy that I never got around to. And so far, I'm like 2 hours into the audiobook out of like 18. Audiobooks aren't bad. You know, I initially had a problem with it where like I would be listening to it and then just try it, like I would start like doing something else that was like too brain focused. I realized I was just listening to like random words in my ear and not actually listening to what they were saying. But I'm training my brain, and I'm able to like wash the dishes while I'm listening to a book, you know? Like I'm cleaning the house, I'm reorganizing things, and I'm like still like getting the story. And the story so far is gripping. And also like the narrator, I don't know the narrator's name off the top of my head right now, but it's interesting. It's like a British man, you know, I'm kind of getting immersed. And it's a very cozy book so far. So I am enjoying it, and I am enjoying the fact that it's an audiobook. So maybe audiobooks will become my thing. I know I made a preference video and I'm like, audiobooks, like whatever. But then I also said in the video, like I'm probably gonna try them because I need to give them a second shot. And I think this would be a great way for me to catch up on books that I otherwise wouldn't have time to get to, especially if I'm in a reading slump and I can just listen to it because it's more like a podcast than a book in that way. So Assassin's Apprentice, I plan on definitely finishing that audiobook in the next couple of weeks or so. And so far I'm enjoying it. So I'll probably try to get my hands on the rest of that series in audiobook form and maybe get another one of those books done in the month of March. In terms of other things that I'm reading, I'm still continuing One Piece. I'm loving it so far. I'm going to make another video probably in the next week or so about a little update of where I'm at. I just finished volume 17, I believe, and it's getting better and better, and I'm really enjoying this particular arc that I'm on with Luffy and the crew. I'm so much enjoying One Piece. It's actually incredible. And I've been lucking out with Libby where I'm getting like actual, like the volumes, I don't need to wait like super long weeks to get them. I'm like just been getting like them consistently without having to be put on the wait list. And speaking of wait lists, I have more books that I've on there. There's a book that I saw on Barnes & Noble's like recommended, The Essex Dogs. It's like a medieval like history fiction about like this group of like warriors, and it just caught my eye because, you know, medieval history / fantasy, that's like right on my alley. So I have that on my wait list. It says like I'm like 10 weeks from getting the book because it's like a relatively new book. So I'm like, gotta wait 10 weeks to get that. But I was also on the wait list for Assassin's Apprentice, and I got that faster than it said I would. And then the other thing I have on my wait list is Jade City. The first of Fonda Lee's famous Jade trilogy. I don't know what the actual trilogy name is called, but on the wait list for that, I think that says like 8 weeks, but it also, when I first put it, it was like 12 weeks, and then I waited like 3 days and it was 8, so I think I'll probably get that probably in the month of March. Whether or not I'll finish it is up for debate, but Fonda Lee was on my want to read list for 2023, so like that would be the first time so far this year where I'm actually reading something that I said I was going to read. So that's definitely on my list, and I'm also looking for books that aren't fantasy. So like Voidwalk Collection is not fantasy, and I've been enjoying that kind of change of pace, but Tress is, and you know, like Dante is like, I guess it's fantasy. It's really not though. But then I'm also, you know, reading Assassin's Apprentice, and I got like Jade City on the wait list, and Essex Dogs is like maybe not fantasy, but it's like medieval. So I'm looking for a palate cleanser in that regard. So if you guys have any recommendations, even like nonfiction, something I'd be willing to consume. But I think I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble soon and just pick up a random read, because I've been dry on like physical books, because War and Peace, I'll be reading that for whatever. And then these books, it's like poetry, so it's not really a hardcover book. And I'm reading a lot in a Kindle, so I want to shift that up. But that's basically what I've been doing, right? I've been mixing up all, look at me, right? Hardcovers, paperbacks, ebooks, audiobooks. I've been consuming them all. Look at me. I'm quite the reader, dare I say. But expect more reviews in the month of March. I've been kind of slacking in that regard because I haven't been finishing anything. And also anything else you guys want me to like do a video on. My video about book 2 in general got a little bit of traction, and I've been loving hearing the discussions of what you guys think about the space. And I was really proud of that video. I think that even though I was just rambling for like 15 minutes or whatever, it really got across like the gist of how I feel about the space and how I feel about reading. And it was kind of cathartic for me to get that out, because I've just been like frustrated with my own reading motivation, while also just like consuming a lot of social media content about it. And I think in general, I've taken like a step back from social media and that booktube space, or especially book talk space, because I'm not even trying with that anymore. But overall, like I've really been enjoying the feedback, and I really appreciate you guys like liking the video and leaving comments. It's like, it means the world to me, and it makes this so much fun, even though I'm just like, I just ramble at you guys all the time. The fact that you guys watch enough to even just say a comment, it's amazing. So if you're not subscribed, join the club. It's a lot of fun. And if you are subscribed, you're already the best, and I appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys. I'll keep you updated.